is the first live, and I have a special show for you guys today. I'm going to be interviewing Joe, better known as Runaway Book on Instagram, for those of you that follow him or follow me on Instagram. And today we're going to be talking about his success and how he went from $0 in sales to $500 a day profit. So I'm not going to take up any more time. Go ahead, and Joe, and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name's Joseph O'Connell, and I've been selling on Amazon for about close to a year now. Up until this point, I've been selling used books online, books that I just find at Savers, at Goodwills, at estate sales. Basically, anywhere I can find a used book, I would go, I would scan the book, I would see if it was worth anything, and then I would send it into Amazon and try to make money that way. That's basically my background, just getting into Amazon. And I do have a full-time job right now, but in the coming future, as more profits roll in, I am looking at transitioning into Amazon full-time.
Awesome. So how long have you been selling on Amazon in general for?
About close to a year, 7 months to a year. I started in January, and since then, it's been kind of slow since January until I found more and more books. It started picking up more. I started selling more. I've gotten probably to about 1,000 books in my inventory. And at 1,000 books, I was selling roughly 10 books a day, excluding textbook season, which is in May, January, and August. Those months, I was doing anywhere from 20 to 30 sales a day on my books. But in between those times, probably about 10 a day.
Wow, awesome. And what marketplace is that, Joe?
That's just used books, Amazon. Yep.
That's U.S. Are you located in the U.S.?
Oh, yep, just in the USA. Yep.
All right. So so you started out selling used books. That's awesome. We all know about Reezy. There's good market, good markup, good margin in used books, and it's something, like Joe was saying, is overlooked. It's a great way to build up capital and to go ahead and build up your funds if you don't have access to a line of credit or those funds to start private labeling. So in reference to your private label product, how many sales are you getting a day and per month with your first product?
Oh my gosh. When I started my first product, it started a little bit slow. Like I was getting a sale or two per day, but then once I got on the first page, it was crazy. I was selling, at the height of it, I was selling 50 a day. And they were selling so fast that I ran out in 2 weeks. I sold about 500 units in 2 weeks. And when I went to ask my manufacturer for more, it's like, okay, how many do you want? I'm like, I want 2,000, as many as I can get.
That's awesome.
It was crazy. It was on fire. It's like when you sell books, like they're kind of like a slow seller. The whole method is you get a whole bunch in there and maybe you sell 10 a day. But with this, I wasn't used to the amount of sales I got on this one product. It's like 50 sales a day on one SKU on one product. That's insane. That's like nothing I've ever seen before. Yeah, crazy.
Awesome. And what was your profit per product and your margin?
Well, I bought these for $1.81. And that includes air shipping. So I was selling them up to $19 plus $1 for shipping because I was merchant fulfilling them. I was shipping them right from my house to customers. So I was making, after fees, about $10 to $13 an item.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what about your ad spend? How much were you spending on ads, and how did you go about starting your ads? When did you start your ads?
I started my ads after I got my first about 4 reviews because, you want to get, like you say, social proof. Like if someone's going to buy your product, they want to see, it has 5 stars, it looks good, it's people actually like it, right? So after I got those reviews, I started spending money on my PPC. I would do an auto campaign. I was spending about $10 a day to start. And then once I figured out what the right keywords were to sell my product, I was throwing in $100 a day, and but it would max out, I think, at around $40 a day. I would put the limit up to 100 because you can put a limit on the amount you want to spend. So
Wow, that's awesome. So you were
yeah,
spending approximately or less than 10% of your net sales per day in advertising, correct?
exactly. Yep. I
Wow,
was
fantastic.
10%. Yeah.
Awesome. So where are you organically ranked? And for those of you that may be watching and you don't know what organic means, organically means when you type in a keyword or a broad keyword for a niche, and that shows where you rank. So typically everybody's goal is to get to the first page. This is where you're going to get the most organic sales or non-paid or non-advertised sales. So where are you ranked currently organically, and how long did it take you to get there?
I got to the #1 spot in my niche, and I actually got a bestseller badge on it. And it took about, I would say about a week, about a week. And once, like, when I was on page 4, I got nothing. When I was on page 2, I was getting like 2 sales a day. But when I got to the #1 spot, it was 50 sales a day. It's like I would wake up in the morning and I would have to like pack 50 products, and I would have to try and get them to the post office before I went to work. It was just
Wow.
crazy. I was like, every time you hear the ding on your phone, you get a sale for that merchant fulfilled. It's like, yes, I got another order. It's 1 a.m. I gotta pack it.
Wow, that's awesome. And how many reviews did it take, or how many reviews did you have when you got to the first page?
Reviews, well, just about 4 reviews. It didn't take a lot. It didn't take a lot. I sold 500 units, and I have about 6 reviews right now. So,
Oh, that's awesome. So
yeah.
that kind of proves a small misconception that even though reviews are part of the algorithm, and we all know, and if you don't know, there's over 200 different variables that go into Amazon's A9 algorithm. The algorithm is the search engine and the formula, the proprietary formula that Amazon has to dictate your search results. Now, each and every factor that you hit out of these 200, Amazon rewards you, and the way that they reward you is showing you up more predominantly in the search results. So it sounded like he had under 10 reviews and he got to the first page. So it's easy to say that your conversion and your velocity of sales is more important than your reviews. So that's something that Joe learned, and that's something that that we can all learn from that as well. So, Joe, how long did it take for you to find your product, and how did you find your product? Did you find it on the Jungle Scout web app or the Chrome app, or that's what we call the conventional methods, or did you use a non-conventional method, maybe finding a cool product and then going and doing reverse engineered searching? How did you find that product, and how long did it take you to?
Well, after I got your course, I was just looking on Jungle Scout for products, and I found a couple that I thought, well, the numbers look okay. But what actually ended up happening for my product is I was going to the store one day and I saw it on a shelf, and I looked at it and I said, I've never seen this before in my entire life. What is it? And you know how you can like take your cell phone out and you can like scan things, just products, to see what the prices are on Amazon? That's what I did. I took my phone out, I put the product up and I scanned it, and I looked at it and I said, this is weird. I don't really know about this. So I went back home, I looked at the numbers, and basically what I saw was 2 people selling it at about I don't know. I think their ranks were around four to 3,000, but the sales they were getting were like around 800 a month. And I was like, oh my God, I think I found something. I think I found something really good. It was, yeah. So it
Well,
ended up being a great product.
that's awesome. And how long did it take for you before, after completing the course, to find a product and get it live?
It took about, I think well, I bought the course. It took me about a week or 2 to find the product, and then contacting the manufacturer, another 2 weeks. I would say about a month and a half, around that, a month and a half, close to that.
Awesome. If you were starting over, what's something that you could tell yourself from the beginning of this process?
Not to second guess myself. You know, when I was researching before and I was looking for products, I was always had these thoughts in my head like, no, I can't sell it because of this. No, I can't sell it because of that. You know, I can't do this. I can't. I had more of a pessimistic kind of thought process in my head. But after going through this, after this one product that I thought wouldn't really sell, and after finding it, I can really say it's all about the numbers. Once you see the numbers on whether you're using Jungle Scout or Unicorn Smasher or something else, once you see the numbers that it's selling and there's only a few people selling it, I mean that's reality. That's what's happening, and you shouldn't second guess yourself. You should try. You should go in. You should buy the product. I mean, and just see if it sells. It's like when my product started selling at the rate it did, it was like I was dreaming. Like, is this really happening to me? I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It's selling like crazy. I don't get it. But it's all about the numbers. If the numbers are there, you're gonna sell. You're gonna make money. It's just the way it is. So now I think a lot more. I'm not like as pessimistic now. I think, well, here's a product. The numbers are here. Yeah, there's some competition. So what can I do to make the product better so that people want to buy it, right? And having that thought process is going to get you over the hump, right? It's going to get you over that negative kind of attitude toward finding things.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. So are you currently looking for a new product, or do you plan to look for any products in the near future?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you asked that. I already found another product that I contacted the manufacturer about, and I've got samples coming. I think I found another 2 products just from Jungle Scout. I didn't find these in the store. What I did was I went on Jungle Scout. I found a product. The product wasn't that good, but I found private label sellers. I looked at their storefront. I found other products that are selling well. So I think I found probably 2 niches that I could do pretty well in, just from Jungle Scout. So,
oh, fantastic. So what would you say, now that you've learned the process of private labeling, what would you say differentiates selling private label products on Amazon versus your typical arbitrage that you were doing before?
oh my gosh, let me tell you, like, this dictionary set behind me, right, worth $700. I got it for $40. Great, right? You could sell it on Amazon for that amount of money. That's like printing money right there. But what I had to do to get them wasn't that easy. I got up at 3 a.m. I drove into Boston. I was there at 4:30. I signed my name on a list. I waited in line from 4:30 until 9 a.m. until they opened. I was number 4 in line. And when they let us in, like, everyone was running up the stairs, trying to get stuff, trying to get the good stuff at the estate sale. I ended up being the first guy to snag these. It's fun. It's a rush, right? It's going out and finding stuff. But after you do that for about 6-7 months, you start to get tired of getting up early on Saturdays and just for a chance to try and find something good. It is fun, but it gets a little tiring after a while, and you start to think like, okay, is there a way I can scale this Amazon business? Is there a way I can make more profit without having to drive from estate sale to Savers to Goodwill, hitting 4 or 5 spots in hopes to find something? And let me tell you, private label is like, oh my God, it's so much easier. You don't have to spend money on gas. You don't have to look on things online. You don't have to ask friends about, sales coming up. It's just, once everything's set, once your product is sent to Amazon, it's just like flipping a switch and watching the money roll in. It's insane. It's awesome. I don't know how else to put it.
So pretty much private label or selling on Amazon via private label products, physical private label products, is a little bit more sustainable as well as scalable. Now that you have your product ranked, once you get back, obviously you ran out of product because your product did a little bit better than you anticipated. Once your product is back in stock and you gain the momentum and you gain your organic ranking, typically on average, how much time do you see yourself spending per month to maintain that $500 per day in profit on that product?
Well, that's the best part. All I have to do is email the manufacturer and say, hey, I need another 2,000 units. How fast can you get it to me here? You know, is there something we can work out? Because I sold 500 units in 2 weeks, and I called them up and I said, I need more right away. And they said, sorry, sir, busy time of year. We'll try and help you out. But it is just that simple. Once everything's set up, you have a good, you found someone good in China to manufacture your product. All you have to do is repeat, send them the money, and you're set to go. It's on its way.
So to be realistic, or realistically, do you think that you could maintain that $15,000 a month in profit with under 10 hours a month of work?
Oh yeah, yep. I mean, if all you have to do is order more product and then have it sent to Amazon to refill instead of going like out hunting for stuff, it takes about an hour. Maybe you want to add something to your product, maybe you want them to change something, but I mean, that only takes a day or two. The only other thing you have to watch is, okay, competitors are coming onto the listing, you know, prices are changing, but I mean, that only takes a few minutes a day to change. So
awesome. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these questions and see. Let me scroll up and see here. What do you teach? What does he teach? So I'm a private label seller. I specialize in building brands and selling physical products on Amazon. In reference to real estate, I am a real estate investor. I don't have any type of curriculum or anything as to date in reference to how I invest in real estate. Let's see here. Cool guys, what's up? Repeat. I thought I seen one in here for about books. Repeat that again, Joshua. Where can we get funding? So at the beginning of the interview, Joe talks about how he started with arbitrage and specializing in finding books at estate sales, garage sales, Craigslist, wherever it be, and selling them. The margin is high. The only downfall is, it's pretty much a limited run. You can't continue to go back and source. But I made a comment that this is fantastic for people who need to build up the capital to get into private labeling. For any of you that may be wondering the big question, how much money do I need to conservatively start selling in private label? You know, it's kind of a tough one because private label products can vary depending on the amount that the product is selling for, how much it costs to source, logistics, package size, etc. But on top of that, the software, startup costs, all that, you want to have around $1,500. I recommend $1,500. You can do it on $1,100, $1,200, but $1,500 is really a nice start. And for those of you that don't have the money to start, arbitrage are selling goods that you find at Goodwill, Salvation Army, estate sales, and then flipping them for a profit is a fantastic way to get started because you can start with anything that you have. So that's a really good place to start. Let's see here. Why are some books so high in cost, but the bulk of the same book is only less than $10? There's a question for you, Joe, from Anna Wellman.
Well, why do people pay so much? Why does it sell for so much, and why you can get it for so cheap? Is that the question?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Okay.
Why are some books so high in cost, but the bulk of the same book is only less than $10? So I think that she's trying to ask how come you're selling an almanac set or a dictionary set for $700, but it only cost you $40? How is that? How are you doing that?
Yeah, it took me a second. Basically, when you go to an estate sale or any sale for that matter, and you find a set like this, normally sets of dictionaries, right? They're not going to cost $700. Usually people will only buy them to put them on their shelf because they look pretty. But this particular set is an Oxford English dictionary set. And for anyone that is into academics and goes to Harvard or any Ivy League school knows that this set is the best set your money can buy. And there aren't that many books like that, but the lady running the estate sale had no idea what these were. She had no idea what they were going for. And mind you, this estate sale was right next to the one of the Harvard, I think it was a medical club. There was a club right near this estate sale, and the lady that used to live in the apartment had them do an estate sale to clean out all of our stuff. And I don't know how they missed this, but this is a $700 set, and the people who want to buy them but can't afford them will go on Amazon to try and find them if they can find them used, because normally it costs $1,000 brand new. But if you go on Amazon, you can find them used for $660. That's where I come in. I'll send it to Amazon. The person who really wants them will pay that amount because that's what they're worth, basically.
Wow, awesome. Let's see, online arbitrage you can do from home, and you could almost double your money. Yeah, absolutely. Arbitrage is a fantastic way to build capital. Let's see. How much do you do in for marketing / ad? Okay, there you go, Joe. Did you hit on how much you're spending with your ads?
So I think I might have talked a little, but basically I probably, during the entire 2 weeks for my total 500 units, I probably spent about $150. Mind you, my profit was about $7,500. All said and done, when all 500 sold out, I profited $7,500, and I spent about 150 to 200-ish in PPC and advertising. So I mean, that's almost nothing compared to.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And that paid for the course. That paid for all of the Jungle Scout. That paid for the online, the web app. That paid for everything after it all sold out.
So how long, once your product got live, did it take you to recoup your initial investment for Jungle Scout and the course?
About a week, but my product was a really hot seller. Not a lot of competition, so it was just, yeah, about a week. I made all my money back. I broke even. I paid for the course. I paid for everything. Jungle Scout. It was, yeah, it was pretty good.
Wow, fantastic. So you briefly mentioned that you're you're netting $500 per day off of the one private label product. That's roughly around $15,000 per month. Is that supplemental income? Do you look at that to potentially replace your main income that you have with your 9 to 5? Is it more than what you make at your 9 to 5? What do you think about that?
Well, I'm still working full time. I make about $500 a week at my full-time job, a little more, but when you make $500 a day on Amazon and you're like thinking to yourself, oh my God, I'm making $500 a day and I'm here working for $500 a week at my job. I'm like, what am I doing here? But no, I'm keeping my full-time job right now because I'm taking all of those profits and I'm just going to try and roll them into buying more products so that, you know, next year is hopefully the year I can quit my job, fire my boss, divorce the 9 to 5 workforce, whatever you want to call it. That's my end goal, 2018. I want to make a big change.
Wow, fantastic. Let's see. So Tim says, how do you get the best price from the manufacturers? So that there's kind of multiple factors that go into that. In my course, I actually give you my direct template that I've developed over several years of contacting international suppliers and manufacturers. It's several paragraphs long. It's fill in the blank, so it's very easy for you to fill out. And what this does is makes you look like a direct representative of a large company, a purchasing agent that deals with international sales. This is going to help you get the best response rate as well as the best price. You have to understand that the floodgates are open, and these suppliers, these overseas suppliers, get contacted by thousands and thousands of people. And if they smell, you have to look at them like a shark. If they smell blood in the water, they're going to attack. So you have to represent yourself as a professional company who deals with international sales, which if you're taking this serious, you technically are. So that's the main thing, is making sure that you get your response rate, make sure that you get a good pricing, and understanding their culture and how they respond. You have to understand that the people that you're contacting, their native language is not English. So, you know, just over trial and error and a lot of experience with international sales and importing, I've really learned and developed a nice process and a nice template for you guys in the course. Let's see, Josh B. just sent the email template with my info out to suppliers last week. Awesome. See, Jake says, I just started your course. Great content. My question is, what is your branding process? So when you're starting out, Jake, the most important thing is gaining barrier to entry. Once your product or your products start to gain velocity, they start to gain traction, the most important thing is getting your ACOS percentage, or your average cost of sales, profitable with your PPC campaign, and gaining your first page ranking for your organic ranking. That's the number one thing. I wouldn't focus on anything else. You can achieve brand recognition and brand awareness through different types of techniques, like watermarking your pictures with your brand, implementing your brand in your bullet point, your description, your title, sending stickers, package stuffers. There's multiple ways, sending them to your social media platforms. There's multiple ways for next to nothing or pennies on the dollar that you can start to build your brand. But it's very essential when you're getting into private labeling, in my opinion, that you start to build a brand. That way you can gain residual business. You want to be in it for the long haul. See, Exclusive says, Joshua, we sold out after taking your advice on reviews. Awesome, fantastic. When you guys are looking for your first product, should you also be thinking about branding it alongside other products later down the line? That's something that I recommend. What I do personally is I launch brands that are in a category. Maybe those categories have subcategories of semantically relevant add-ons or products that that have attributes, or they benefit or complement the main products. And then once I get that kind of, I wouldn't say a monopoly, but once I get that where I want to be, then I'll launch another brand in a different category. So for instance, if I have a set of products underneath a baby category, that would be one brand. I'd have multiple products, categories, subcategories. If I'm going to go with like a picnic table or a camping hammock or something like that, marshmallow sticks, then I would go into the sports and outdoors, start a new brand. Each and every brand does not need a separate entity, but I recommend having a different trademarked, copyrighted brand name, as well as different social media accounts. And once you start to gain velocity traction, you can get e-commerce sites. You can launch these brands outside of Amazon's ecosystem on different, Shopify or Weebly, different e-commerce sites, where you can then utilize everything that you've learned with Amazon's PPC on Google's PPC, which is AdWords. But that's super advanced, and I talk about that stuff in the course. How do you get reviews at the beginning? So there's a lot of different ways to go ahead and get reviews. One of the most commonly used one is to go ahead and do a product giveaway. Team, if you're not subscribed to my channel, if you go ahead on my YouTube channel and you look at the video entitled Top 5 Product Launch Strategies that will 5x your sales, I go over 5 different strategies that you want to utilize in correlation to go ahead and spike the algorithm, as well as gain your first initial reviews. Let's see. I use the template. It works great. You just have to weed through good suppliers. Awesome. How much capital do you think you should have to risk to get started? That's the only thing holding me back. Danny Neef, if you're serious about the lifestyle, if you're serious about selling physical products on Amazon, there should be no capital restrictions. I recommend for private labeling a minimum of $1,200. That includes the course, that includes your Jungle Scout if you don't have it, and your first initial order, usually around $1,500. But it depends on the product cost, how much your units cost, which I dive into that deep. You want to find out how much you're selling on 30 days. You have to understand that it takes approximately 15 to 30 days for a manufacturer to manufacture, then ship your product overseas, especially if it's not air express, it's coming via sea. So the last thing, I mean, it's, you know, you can run out of product like Joe did and bounce back, but you really want to try not to. But sometimes in the beginning, there's capital restrictions. So if there's capital restrictions from you, I would dive right into arbitrage. Start selling stuff around your house. Anything you can do to go ahead and build that initial capital to go ahead and invest. Cool. So if just doing wholesale to get started, about 1K is a good amount. You know, I really don't sell wholesale, so I mean, I would assume so. There's a lot of regulations and there's a lot of stuff that you need in reference to opening up accounts. You know, you need a website. Some vendors will require you to have a brick and mortar store, a track record of 24 months in business. Some vendors, wholesale vendors, won't sell to Amazon. They have an NDA or non-disclosure agreement with different suppliers. So I really can't hit on wholesale because that's not what I specialize in. But if you guys have any questions for Joe, go ahead and drop it in the live chat. And if not, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I didn't have an intention of this being a super long Q&A. So let's wait for a minute. Is there anything else, Joe, that you want to tell the viewers, or any type of advice that you want to give them before we go ahead and wrap this up?
Yeah, I would tell people, if you are looking to get into private label and you do have the money, you know, like you said, around $1,500, you know, take your time when you're looking for manufacturers. When you do get started with private label, you're going to be really excited. You're going to want to like rush in and try and get the product as fast as you can and try to get it to Amazon as fast as you can. It's understandable, you know, but just take your time, shop around for different manufacturers. Don't go with the first one. Wait till you find someone that speaks really good English. Wait till you find someone that can do things for you, like custom boxes. And don't rush the process. You're going to want to rush it. I know I did. But take your time. Once you get in to start making deals with manufacturers, that's my biggest thing. And my second one is, if you're not selling on Amazon right now, I would say just create an account, get started. You know, start selling books, start selling anything. Because once you start to sell product on Amazon, you're going to be hooked, and you're going to just want to make more and more and more.
Awesome. So basically, you want to familiarize yourself with the process and learn the process. The more you hesitate, from my personal experience, and I get hundreds of emails daily, a lot of people, what holds them back from success, especially selling in this industry, is over analyzing the process. Due to maybe fear, due to capital restrictions. You need to step out the box and look from the outside looking in. All right, don't overanalyze it. Now, of course, you don't want to make any decisions that may affect you down the road. You want to make educated decisions, but you don't want to overanalyze things, because then you can be stuck in that state of mind, and that can actually hold you back from success. All right, guys, so let me just skim through these last questions real quick before we get off of here. Have you been to the Cadden Fair? I have not. I'll look it up, Joe. I'm not even aware with it. Tyrone Harrington says, I'm next, Josh. Awesome. I'm glad to contribute to anyone's success. Have you wired money internationally? Yes. Is doing a giveaway and then following up with the people asking for an honest review against Amazon's terms of service. You cannot ask or incentivize for any type of review within their terms of services. The only way that they ethnically allow you to gain reviews are by doing giveaways, and by doing so, you're still not allowed to ask for a review. I'm having a hard time to get ungated. Amazon asking me to provide my business website. So if you need a business website, you can go get a domain for $1 if it's your first domain from GoDaddy. You can get a Shopify store for $19.99 a month, get ungated, then close it, or you have a month to gain traction and gain sales. What is Joe's profit margin again? Andrew wants to know what your profit margin is. I know we went over that. I think you're making what, $9 an item, you said?
Yeah, and I changed the price around a lot, but $9 to $12 an item.
And you're sourcing for under $2?
Yes, $1.81.
Wow, so I don't even know how to do the math on that. Let me see. I don't have a calculator by me.
I don't know if it's like 600%, 600 to 1,000% profit.
Yeah, there you go. Joe's tech savvy. So there you have it, close to 1,000. I know I don't even need to do the math. If I source something for $2 and I sell it, I sell it for $10, and I sell what? How many are you selling a day? 50?
Yeah, I was selling at the height. I was selling 50 a day. My God.
Yeah, you can do the math. You can do the math. You're making money. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for stopping in. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to email me at jchrismarketing@gmail.com. Other than that, I appreciate it. And hopefully one of you guys will be the next interview for the student success. So if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell so you can be the first to market and first to dollar. Where can I buy the course? You can buy the course. Let me go ahead and put a link in here. I should have done that already. Let's see, bear with me 1 second. Let me see here. It should pop up a URL. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. It's the first link in the description. I already have it up there underneath where it talks about Joe. It'll be the first link in the description when the video ends. All right, you guys have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to you guys later.